I mean, he's seen his opponent go for dumbass cheese, but let's be honest. On a map like Daybreak, it's very difficult to do a lot of early pressure to Zerg. There's just so much distance between the two bases, and even if you do commit to that sort of cheesiness, it's going to be hard to make it stable.
All right, so let's go ahead and introduce our players up in the top right side. Oh man, we were talking about Select a little bit before the last game, how he has cheesed a lot recently versus Zerg, but you know what? If it works, just keep on keeping on. And so anyways, it is Select up in the top right side. Down in the bottom left side, it is going to be VortiX. Now, Sean, I want to know, was there something that VortiX did wrong there? I feel like his responses were pretty standard. He even had a lot of Zerglings. What was it he needed to do to not fall victim in that last game?
Well, one of the big things is to have that first Overlord scout be in a position where you can check up whether an expansion's going down, just to skirt the front, because if your opponent's going to be fast expanding afterwards, you have to be able to, or actually you can really easily see that opening command center. And getting a little too overeager with the drones can be a little bit of an issue. More importantly of all, though, oh, it looks like Select allowing us to have Exhibit A in this explanation follow-up. After you see those Marines approaching your base, you have to go find the barracks. You absolutely must go find those barracks. And if they're not lifting up, you have to appropriately stop building drones.
Now, the positioning of these two barracks, correct me if I'm wrong here, Sean, they seem a little bit more aggressive because the attack path can easily be right along here, and then all of a sudden you are at that natural as if you move those Marines on the left side here. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult for him to play defensive game if this all-in rush type build does not work out here. The drone, though, scouts up here. He's reporting back in. I never understood how the drones can tell the master what's going on, but he is somehow invested in a cell phone.
Dude, that drone, it's exactly like Agent Smith in The Matrix, where he just pushes this earpiece into his ear with this huge grimace, and then the Overmind knows. You're the Overmind in this situation.
Okay.
Yes, so it looks like the expansion now up the pool en route. I think VortiX is going to be in decent shape, but Select doing a clever long-distance bunker. This distance bunker will force the Zerg player to pull off a little bit more than he wants to, and will create an assault point for all the Marines to pop in and out of that bunker. Does look like there's a nice little surround going on. It will be delayed.
That bunker is going to be canceled. He does get the cancel this time. Able to get a 75% refund off of that, but here comes the attack. 2 SCVs, 2 Marines are now here. This should be enough to at least start the bunker creation here. Being very aggressive, though, with the bunker being built now at the expansion. We do see 10 Zerglings on the way this time for VortiX. He does know that bunker's there. Yes, he does. He's going to wait for those lings to pop and attack, most likely with drones at the same time here. But I don't know if, yeah, there are more reinforcing Marines on the way. Here comes a big surround right now.
Oh, no!
Neither of the bunkers are completed.
Doesn't manage to get the surround off quite. Select is going to be able to step ahead. There is one lone Marine embarrassed to be there all by his lonesome self, and VortiX yet again with some incredibly nice defense gets lings all the way around back to pick off those incoming Marines. We see at the natural expansion those 2 bunkers are still half built. Select will go for the double cancel, and yet again VortiX needs to not make that mistake of building too many drones. He has to make sure that those 2 barracks do lift there. He sees the lift, and now Husky. It is a long-term game with VortiX in a clear lead, with 32 supply to 19.
Yeah, I think last game it was actually, you know, he ended up losing a lot of workers last time, but not this time, not today. VortiX says, hey, I am going to be able to catch back up here very well. He is going to go ahead and try to poke in there with those Zerglings. Awkwardly stuck out in the center. It's going to come down to some pretty good micro here. He needs to buy time to get those barracks back over here. Although, actually, these 2 Marines go down, which they just did. It's going to be so tough for him to hold here. He is going to have to bring off SCVs to repair this, but this is just free lost mining for VortiX here as he is, well, there's no overreaction here as Select. He should be okay here.
Oh, man. This reminds me of Terran vs. Protoss in StarCraft 1, where the Dragoon just always wails on the wall off, no matter frickin' what. And now Select is going to have to build those backup Marines and waste a lot of money repairing. I don't know if that even shows up in the unit loss tab, but interesting decision from Select. He's going for the double Marine production. We see that almost all the resources lost are on Select, losing all those Marines, SCVs, and bunkers, but interestingly going for the double gas, double command center. He knows he needs to catch up. He knows he's forced his opponent to make a lot of Zerglings, so VortiX is delayed on gas, aka delayed on any ability to pressure select for the next little bit.
Yeah, really the only follow-up he could have done was some sort of Baneling bust, potential for some Roach pressure here, but he's saying, hey, I'm already in a good spot. I've got 41 drones. I don't know exactly how many SCVs Select has, but it certainly is not going to be 41, and we do have only 22 SCVs here for Select. He's going to go ahead and move out, throwing down the factory right away. This Ling may spot the command center. Yes, he will indeed see that command center is on the way for that expansion. So VortiX has a good idea as to what's going on here. Unfortunately, that Zergling just one Hex. Actually, no, he was able to block it there for to be able to deny it just for a couple of seconds here. It does look like now the expansion got to be going up here for Select. Throwing down that bunker, having to play a more defensive game. The third base is on the way here for VortiX. But Sean, is VortiX still in the lead here? Has he been making the right choices?
I would definitely say VortiX is in an extremely comfortable situation. He's going to be going for the Stefano-style 1-1 upgrades. That Baneling Nest will likely be unused unless Select does some sort of big marine push. That's what the backup Banelings are for. The rest of the gas is going to be dumped into getting up those 1-1 upgrades, the eventual infestation pit, building another macro hatch is no doubt to come soon enough. But Select, again, so good with the metagame. In the main base, we see Select going for the double factory mass frickin' Hellion play. It will be spotted oh so quickly, but still, it's a rough spot to be in for VortiX when you realize, whoops, I need something other than Zerglings.
Looks like Select's trying to, no, he couldn't lift off this factory to try and hide it. I think he, did he actually manage to hide that? I think he, no, he saw it right there lifting off. It was like mid-lift off.
Whoa, that is cool. You get to permanently remember that there was a flying building there.
Yeah, that's going to be invaluable information for him. Select just lifted it off a second too late. We do see the Blue Flame Hellion upgrade on the way right now. And do you think Select's going to transition into pure mech here?
Or is it going to be some sort of biomech? He is going to be going pure mech. A really cool play. He knows his opponent can't have roaches, just due to the fact that he's gotten to actually scout, not roaches. He knows he's delayed his opponent's gas. His opponent is almost certainly going for some sort of Zergling and third play, thereby making Blue Flame Hellion extremely, extremely effective. While all this is going on, once the Blue Flame's done, Select can take his third base, build another factory, and begin making Thors and continue to apply pressure. But the more modern way to go for mech is to actually way overbuild Hellions. You start to see a layer tech coming, you build yet another round or two of Hellions and make sure all that layer tech is pinned back. Right now the Spire's finishing up from VortiX, and this is the key time where Select needs to make sure that those Zerglings and Mutalisks are staying back at home.
And you mentioned a lot of Hellions, that's exactly what we're seeing, and a lot of factories as well. He's adding on 3 more factories. This is going to be a 5-factory play off of 2 bases. He is looking to secure that third base, though. Should be able to hold on to that. You can see the barracks right there is going to be scouting everything that's going on down in the bottom left side. But, Sean, what I really like about what Select is doing is that the double armory has the +1/+1 on the way, siege mode on the way as well. But with 12 Mutalisks on the way, are just a couple of Thors going to be enough?
It's very, very close timing to Select. He has to do these distraction plays like right now, roasting up. Every single drone is burning, Mike. Every single drone lined up perfectly there. And right now, Select, the one thing he's going for is to stay alive as long as possible with these Hellions roasting a substantial amount of Zerglings. And look at that units lost tab. Was well behind at the start. Has now caught all the way back up. This is the time when some extra Hellions are going to be very convenient for delaying the opponent. Right now, Select has to make sure he doesn't lose this base. It will certainly have to stay lifted, but if he can keep the command center alive, that's going to help a lot as Mutalisks swing into the main base.
There's no missile turrets here. There's no Thors in sight. They're about halfway done. 2 bases getting locked down simultaneously here. It looks like the Zerglings will eventually get cleaned up, but SCVs awkwardly transferring through each other, trying to find a safe place to actually begin mining. And the Mutalisks right now have completely locked down the production facilities here and going for the add-ons. Those reactors and tech labs getting taken out here.
Oh no. And there's the Thor finishing up. It does manage to get 1 volley, but with no SCVs there to repair, it will be down in no time flat. We see all the SCVs starting to run around. It is getting a repair down, but it falls with relative ease. VortiX in a clearly winning position right now with Baneling. Nom 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 nam speed. See you later, SCVs. Hope the scraps decorate the ground.
And And right now, VortiX was hovering a lot of money, but guess who's hovering more? Select, not able to get the add-ons on, so he's not able to spend all that money he has. Now finally being able to invest it, but unfortunately a lot of it is going to be in Hellions, which at this point in the game cannot do that much damage. Maybe able to secure that third base, but he is just scrambling around. How good is his crisis management going to be? It is going to have to be about as good as it can, because the Thor production, there's only, I believe, 2 Thors on the way. But at this point, I don't know if 2 Thors is enough. The Mutalisks have done the damage. We do see that the 4th base is on the way for VortiX now as well. So really, Sean, is there anything that Select can do here to keep himself in this game?
Select literally has to go for a maxed army push now. Mech is just incredibly powerful once it gets maxed. And as long as he can get to there, he'll have some hope of fighting in the end game. But in the meantime, VortiX can literally expand every location on the map. The top and bottom expansion, from bottom or right, the center natural. These little plays by the Hellions to try to do some damage is just offering free units to VortiX at this point, who has complete and utter map control. Select, is he even mining from his third, or is it just staying lifted up? It looks like it only recently landed.
And does decide to lift it off there as well, knowing he does not have the ability to hold on. And you can see right now he's playing the defense game, setting up a lot of turrets. He's got his Thors and siege tanks, even a bunker here for defense. He's going to hide behind the wall-in at his second base. And I think he's just banking on, hey, if I can mine enough gas, I have a lot of minerals to spend, I can go ahead and get maxed out from there. He does have enough harvesters in every single geyser here. And at this point, here we go. He knew that this is exactly what VortiX was going to do. But does he have enough to hold on? I don't think so, Sean. There's a 100 supply lead right now. That's so many roaches, so many Mutalisks. And down goes the base. I do believe that this is going to go into game number 3 here, as this is a lot of stuff. All he's got is 2 Thors back in the main, but he has no natural, no third base, and pretty soon, no more units.
And that is the exact play VortiX needed. He gets the good game. He's